Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelsey and I post all bookish videos on this channel. I can't believe that I'm saying it, but it is literally the end of April. It's the 28th today and it's time for another monthly wrap up. So I have read 9 books so far this month. I think I'm going to finish my current book that I'm reading by the end of this month, so it will be 10. But as it stands right now, I have read 9 books this month. So now we need to go through every single book that I've read and I'm going to give you my review and rating. Okay, so I feel like I have said it a million times on all of my social platforms recently, but I finished reading the Magnolia Park series this month. So the first 2 books I finished were the Magnolia Park's A Long Way Home and Daisy Hates the Great Undoing. So I actually read these in tandem with each other. I have posted a bit of a review and my opinion on the best way to read the series up on my channel already. So just go ahead and click through my previous videos for my full review of the Magnolia Park series. But I'll go through like a bit of a basic review because obviously I have spoken about it so many times, but you might not have watched that video. So if you haven't, this is my review of these 2 books. So I read them in tandem and I rated both of them 5 stars. So these 2 books, if you haven't read the series before, series is basically about the same friendship group, and then within the friendship group you've got Magnolia's stories and Daisy's stories. So in these 2 books there's loads of overlap, there's loads of scenes where things are happening at the same time and you're finding out things that are to do with both of these characters or like something that is going to relate. So I actually read them in tandem because otherwise this book was going to feel like a repeat of this one, and it was an amazing experience. I loved every single second of it. It was so much fun, to be honest. Like, this book I think is my favourite out of the series. The Long Way Home is my favourite because in this book we got a little bit of reasoning behind BJ's actions in the first book, which is just Magnolia Park, and it felt so good to get a bit of a backstory on those 2 as characters. They're in a relationship, Magnolia and BJ, and it felt so nice to sort of find out why they are in a relationship and why they're so connected, and I think you really get a bigger understanding of the characters in this book. So I absolutely loved it. There were so many twists and turns that I wasn't expecting, so like almost plot twists, I guess. Like, it was just so good. I really enjoyed it. And then obviously Daisy Hates, I thoroughly enjoyed this book as well because we also got a little bit more backstory of Daisy and her brother Julian in this one, and it was just really nice. I felt like I got to know the characters a bit more on a deeper level in these books, and obviously this one is where my love for Julian grew because he is just great and he's just so sweet, and I'm just very excited to get the next books in this series because obviously we do have the last book, which I also read as well this month, but this is only Magnolia's book and we are expecting, I think the rumour is, or she said she's going to do 2 more Daisy books, which is going to be so interesting. But there's so many things that happened in this book that I'm so scared to see from Julia's point of view because the heartbreak was honestly 10 out of 10 in this, and like, I'm one of those people where if a book makes me cry or a book breaks my heart, then it's an instant 5 stars. So obviously this book was 5 stars as well, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a really great ride. This one just tied together Magnolia and BJ's story. It tied it together really nicely, and I felt like it ended on quite a nice note, but obviously we're still missing Daisy, so I need to get the next books immediately. But if you want to see my full review on the Magnolia Park series, there is a spoiler and spoiler-free part in the review. It's over on my channel, so just go ahead and watch that one. So after I did my tandem read, I actually listened to, well, I was listening to an audiobook kind of at the same time because I like to listen to a book while I'm doing my walk to work, and I listened to None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. Lisa is definitely one of my favourite thriller writers because she is just incredible with her plot twists, and it's like she always builds you up to think you know what's going to happen, but you're wrong. Every single time you're wrong. Like, the plot twist is twisted in a way that you didn't expect. None of This Is True is honestly so good. Like, I actually still think about it a little bit, like, since I've finished listening to it, because I just did not expect the ending. Like, I genuinely thought I had it all figured out and I knew what was going to happen. I knew who the bad guy was, but I could not have been more wrong. Like, I genuinely did not predict the ending of it. Now, I'm someone who tries not to predict things because I don't want to ruin the shock factor, but I still, like, I didn't guess that. I never would have guessed that. Like, it was so good, honestly. I really enjoyed that. So I rated that 5 stars as well. So after my Magnolia Park's tandem read, the book that I picked up was Fearless by Lauren Roberts. So that is the 3rd book in the Powerless trilogy, and I'm not gonna lie guys, I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed with that book, and it is such a shame because it was like obviously supposed to be the ending of a series, and I thought I was gonna love it, and I don't know if maybe my expectations were just too high, but I just did not love it. Firstly, it took me ages to get into it. Like, I just felt like it was really slow. There was a lot of recapping, which I needed the recapping, but it did just feel a bit like too much at this point. And then we started to get to like the explanations for some things, but I just felt like some of it was a bit ridiculous, I'm not gonna lie, and I didn't love it. I was really disappointed because I didn't even know what to say. I feel like I can't really talk about it without giving any spoilers, but I do have, I think I've posted it on my shorts, but I do have a fearless spoiler review. So if you have read it, go and watch that for my true feelings, because I feel like I can't say what I want to say without spoiling it, and I want this to be spoiler free. So please go and watch that if you have read it, or read it and then go and watch my review for that one, because there's not really much I can say other than I was a bit disappointed with how it ended. I mean, I liked the ending for Kai and Payden, but I didn't like the ending for Kit. Yeah. It wasn't for me. I rated that 3.75 stars. So next I read Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn, and this was really weird. If you've read this book, please let me know in the comments, spoiler free, but please let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this book and like what your thoughts were, because I made myself a challenge that I was going to read a book in one evening, and I picked up this one. Well, actually my boyfriend picked me up this one because he said he's diabetic and he has to inject every single day, and somehow that correlates to this book, but I let him pick for me. And I read this in one evening, but it was very bizarre. Like, I did not get on with it whatsoever. I still rated it 3 stars because I felt like it was quite addicting. Like, I was sort of like getting through it, like I need to know what's going on, like I have no idea what's happening, but I need to know. But I just felt like it was really odd, and that's the only thing I can really say about this book, was it was odd. Would I recommend it? Probably not, but it was an interesting read to say the least. Not much else I can say on that one. So then I decided to jump into Binding 13. I had already started reading this ages ago, put it down to finish Magnolia Parks, and then I picked it back up again. I wasn't sure going into this book if I was going to enjoy it, because it's set in a high school, so the characters are super young, and I didn't know if that was something that I would usually like to read, but everybody raves about this series so much that I thought I need to give it a try, so I'm going to jump into it. And initially, I really enjoyed it. I really like the way that Chloe Walsh writes. I think it's super easy to read, it's super easy to understand. I think the way that she writes a teenage boy is how I would picture a teenage boy to act, and it's the same for Shannon as well, who's a teenage girl. Like, I think she's really, I don't know what the wording is for that, like how do I say that without sounding like an idiot, but like I think she's nailed it in terms of the age of the character and how they would behave. I think it's spot on in this book. Also, this book is super heavy. Like, I didn't really know what it was going to be about. I knew it wasn't just going to be a typical romance, but I didn't expect it to be quite so hard, like, to read. It was very sad. There's some scenes in here which are really quite extreme, so that made it a little bit difficult to read. But the thing is with this, I don't get it, what everyone raves about, to be honest. It is too long. Like, there is no need for this to be 789 pages. I feel like this could have been condensed. Like, it just felt like there was a lot of filler in here, stuff that wasn't really adding to the story. It just kind of felt like it took too long to get to where we wanted it to be. And even by the end of the book, I still don't really feel like we're there, and that's 789 pages of like it not getting to where we need it to go. So yeah, I wasn't really a fan of it. And the other thing that did annoy me about this was Shannon. She's the main character, the girl, the female main character, and I just found her a little bit annoying. And I think that might be quite controversial to say, or like an unpopular opinion, because everyone seems to rave about Shannon and Johnny. I just found her a little bit whiny, and I understand like the things that she goes through in her life are not easy things, and like if I was her, I'd probably maybe be the same as her, I don't know, but I did just find her a little bit annoying. So I really could have done with her just dialing it back a little bit and being maybe less annoying, and then I would have enjoyed it more. I think if this was like a 400-page book, I would have enjoyed this so much more, and it would have had more of an impact. But here we are, it's 789 pages. I did finish it, so I didn't DNF it, so it wasn't that bad. I did rate it 3.5 stars. I am going to hold off reading Keeping 13 though. I do have it on my shelf, but someone on Instagram told me that the second book feels like another version of this, and I'm not ready for that again right now, so I'm gonna leave that one for a little while. And then I also read Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell, and it was amazing. Like, from page 1 I was completely hooked. Oh my god, like, it was incredible. So a girl from Instagram called Summer actually gifted me this Kindle book for my birthday, which was so sweet. And if you're watching this, like, thank you so much. Like, I genuinely really appreciate that, and you'll be glad to know that I bloody love the book. Like, it was incredible. From page 1 I was genuinely so hooked. I think Lisa has a real way with words that she just makes it so addicting. Like, I genuinely read it in 24 hours because I couldn't put it down. It was so good. I didn't expect the ending, and the thriller has never made me cry before either, bear in mind. Like, I genuinely didn't expect the ending, and the ending actually made me cry. I mean, how many thrillers can you say made you cry? Because I could probably count on one hand the amount of thrillers that have made me cry before, but that instantly 5 stars. Like, I just love any book that can make me cry, and it was just so good. I would highly recommend it if you haven't read it yet. It was an amazing thriller. It was very addicting. I couldn't put it down, and I really enjoyed it. I did also read an arc called The Last Daughter of Smoke and Shadow, but I can't post my review yet, so I'm gonna not talk about that one. I'm not gonna say my review in this video because I'm not allowed to yet, but I also read that, so that is the 9th book that I read this month. And then what I'm currently reading, let's go through that as well. I'm currently reading Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver, which is the 2nd book in the Rose Hill series, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. In this book we've got West and Skylar, and Skylar is like a pop star, and she's like running away from her life, and she goes to Rose Hill to meet Ford Grant, who does he's like a music producer, so she wants to like go to him and meet him. And then, yeah, so then she meets West there, and then obviously classic Elsie Silver fashion, they have a little something. So I'm very excited about this book. I've been really enjoying it. I am apart from the bookmark is not in the right place because I've been reading it on my Kindle. I am nearly at the end of this, so this will definitely be read, I think, by the time it gets to the end of April, which is like 2 days away. And then I don't know what I will pick up next, so I'm not really sure. We could potentially be looking at 11 books for April, but as it stands right now, it is 9, and it could be 10 by the end of the month because I am nearly finished with this one. But so far we're on track for a 4-star read, which is so good. I just love Elsie's writing. I just think it's so much fun. And then I'm also listening to No One Saw a Thing by Andrea Mara on Spotify Premium, which is also very good. It's a thriller about this little girl that goes missing, and the parents are like trying to find her basically, but it's really good. I'm near the end of that one as well, so potentially we could be looking at 11 to 12 books this month. I don't know if I'll finish it though, because I only really listen to it like when I'm doing stuff, or like cleaning, or like walking to and from work. So yeah, we'll see about that one. I'm not sure what I'm going to rate it yet. It depends like what happens in this last like bit that we're at. I think I'm like 80% of the way through that one. So that is all of the books that I've read or I'm reading this month. I'm very excited. It's been a very good mix, I think, of thrillers, romances. Have I read any fantasy this month? Yeah, Fearless, fantasy as well. Like, I've read a good mix of genres this month, so it's been quite nice. Not all of them have been super high ratings, but I've still had a good time. I've still read some good books this month. I'm actually going to do another video for my May TBR, so make sure you're subscribed to see what I'm going to read next month. I'm going to do a random generator generates my May TBR because I have so many books on my TBR and I actually don't know how to keep up and I don't know what to read. It's got to the point where I'm lost and I need help. So that's going to be my next video. Make sure you're subscribed and give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!